What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. I'm your host, Luz Takes, and in this video, we will be going over the top D lineman prospects for the Dallas Cowboys, whether it be edge and interior D lineman. As you know, thank you so much. We have hit over 200 subscribers, and we're on the road to 250 subscribers. As you know, I love each and one of you guys' feedback. It gives me the inspiration to put out more content and just talk football with y'all. We're just trying to do our best to give our input so the Cowboys will for sure hear the fans' opinions on certain prospects and how to get this season turned around, how to get this team turned around, and going forward. As you know, the D-line last year, as far as the defending the run, we were pretty much bottom of the league. We were at the top of the league in, getting after the quarterback, rushing the passer. That fell off towards the end, and I think the reason why it fell off towards the end is that teams realized that we're gonna make the Dallas Cowboys earn the right to rush the passer. And I know for sure we should have seen it as a team. So when I see Micah Parsons getting on his podcast, it shouldn't be a shock to when a team that normally passes from the AFC sees on film that your obvious weakness is running the ball. Obviously, I'm not going to feed into your strength. I'm going to exploit your weakness. And in that same podcast episode, you see Jordan Love commenting saying, yeah, we watched that film, and obviously we was going to use that too. I mean, we were a heavy passing team too, but look, y'all are weak in the middle. Y'all are weak in the D lineman. Like, you don't have any depth guys, so we're just going to pound it down. We're going to make you earn the right to rush the passer. And that was the obvious MO, but we did not, as a team, did not get ahead of that. So I don't know. Here we are. Key, departures from us. We had obviously the big Jonathan Hankins, man. Wish we could have retained him. Such a key piece. He's one of those guys that the Cowboys should have taken advantage of. We got him on a cheap deal. He's one of those veteran guys that still has something in the tank, and we let him walk. Dorrance Armstrong, a key edge contributor, especially depth piece. Also, Dante Fowler too. We lost those both to the rivals over there in Washington. And we got to keep going, but and also don't forget Neville Gallimore, depth piece, but he's easily replaceable. So what the Cowboys have right now, according to this, depth chart, as you know, in 2023, for the first round pick, the Cowboys took Mazi Smith, controversial guy within the inner Cowboy space. As you know, with this year for sure, we saw he has questions about his health and that shoulder. He just got surgery pretty late on in the offseason, if you ask me. So we don't know how that's going to affect him. Plus, sudden weight loss, questions around that. Is he, he may be having, mental health problems. Did Dan Quinn tell him to, lose all that weight? Because he was much heavier when we drafted him. So that's going to be a problem. And then overall, I don't think his impact was felt as a nose tackle. I'm not one of these people say he did horrible, but I know the X's and O's too. I'm not expecting him to jump off the screen. I know what a nose tackle is supposed to do. What a nose tackle is supposed to do is all the dirty work, what doesn't show up in a stat sheet. Clogging holes, taking on blockers, as much O-line as you can to free up lanes for the linebacker, especially in the run game. That was his specialty. And also, I want to see, if when you're big and heavy, get better at rushing and passing. I don't want you to just stay one-dimensional and just defend it around. I want you to get better, especially as a first-round pick. We picked you to do that, but I just felt overall, he didn't jump off the screen at all. I don't feel like his impact was felt at all. I feel like he wasn't. I didn't see him feeding off of the energy or the momentum during the games. He was just there, and a lot of people within the community, of the Dallas Cowboys community, were saying, predicting this because they didn't like the pick. They don't like taking D linemen in the first round because it takes longer for D linemen to translate their game to develop. And if you want a big example to reason why that may be true, I think it's Mazi Smith, because he's going to need more and more years to develop. So also don't forget, in the draft we may have took Mazi Smith, but we also took an edge guy, Valami Fehoko out of San Diego State. I need a big development year this year, especially with the Cowboys not making any moves. I'm going to be making a series on guys I expect to take a big step this year, because in order for the Cowboys to be competitive this year, we're going to need a lot of guys in their second and third year to take that much needed step. Not to a star level, but I just need you to start, honing in on the craft you're supposed to produce on the field to produce, at which, so if you're supposed to be setting the edge, I need you to be setting the edge at a high rate. I may not need you to get 12 sacks. I'm just asking you to do your job, to come out with high grades, maybe for, when after a game is over, when your coach is evaluating you. So, yeah. So we're going to be going over a couple of guys in the edge and interior D linemen. This time around, I'm going to do something different. I'm giving two guys that's highly rated that I want the Cowboys to spend a high round pick on, if possible, or in each the edge and interior D lineman. And I'm giving one sleeper pick for if we pass on this position early on, we can come back later on with round 6, 7, 8 drafted if they even last that long. But here are the top edge prospects that the Cowboys should draft in this upcoming NFL draft. Latu, edge out of UCLA. When I watch his film, he's very dominant. I see the motor. He's great. He's into the game. You can tell he's fired up when he's making plays. He's running all over the field. He just jumps off the tape. When he was doing the combine for the NFL, he jumped out to a lot of people, including he went pretty viral, especially with him moving around the deck bags. They said he was moving like a receiver, and I can clearly see it. He got loose hips. In his film, he has a lot of moves in his toolkit. Control athleticism. What that means is he's just not overshooting, over pursuing, just he can stop on a dime. That's what I'm looking for. Speed is all good, but can you control that speed? Can you settle down? Can you be within the flow of the game? He's dominant in almost any assignment. Whether it be shooting the gap, whether it be lined up over a guard, whether it be coming in for a TEET, going out in coverage. He's doing that at a high level, and that's why one of my hot takes for him, and it's not really a hot take, a lot of people think this as well, he's going to have immediate impact out of all the guys pretty much on the entire defensive side of the prospects. I think he's going to be one of the guys who have one of the coming in and being a playmaker for a team. So obviously that means he's definitely not going past the first round. His closing speed comes off. When I'm watching him, he just reminds me a lot of Jalen Phillips from the Miami Dolphins. He both of them play the same way, high motor. Especially if you watch Hard Knocks. Jalen Phillips' season came to an end, but just that controlled aggression, controlled speed, all that, they're very similar in play. Next prospect, Jared Verse, edge out of Florida State. He was a part of that dominant defense of Florida State. Controversy season, they thought they should have been in the playoffs. That defense is what carried them this entire year. Explosive, elite in the pass rush. He has a multitude of counters for O-linemen. Very, 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 very important. If you get stonewalled, can you adapt, or are you just gonna sit there like a standing duck after your plan has been, sought after? That he has impeccable get off, and mathematically, physically, all of that, that's going to translate into what I think he has great initial punch towards, these tackles, whether they be heavier power tackles. He's moving them. He's the quarterback's lap every time, man. Hot take for this guy as well. These are top end guys we're going over here. He has star potential to me. If he can just get a couple of more moves in his toolkit, be a little bit more finesse. He's more on the power side for me. I can see this guy being one of the premier pass rushers in this league. He just gives off like what Myles Garrett was coming into the draft. Just that raw ability that that can play make and be a difference maker down the stretch. And with any NFL program that can hone in on his skills, you cannot tell me this man is not. We're not going to be hearing his name. We're going to be hearing his name for years to come. I'm mark my words right now. His game just screams that he's relentless too. Next prospect. This is the sleeper prospect, Jonah Ellis, edge out of Utah. Great get off, great pursuit, high motor. He's lower ranked. I believe it's because he's not physically gifted, not the long arms, not the tall body, not just with this just giant build. I think his body type to me has a potential, and with him not being physically gifted, he to me have that rush of a bowling ball. What I mean by that, he may not win on the first move, he may not win on the second move, he may not win on the third move, but every move he's going to make is going to be slowly but surely pushing the tackle back into the to the quarterback's lap. So he's always moving forward. He's always a threat. He's relentless. He has the controlled aggression. He has the discipline. I feel like he can come in and be an immediate depth guy, somebody who you can take a year or two, hone in on his skills, and be an impact probably for us later on. I'm telling you, it's gonna be felt. He's gonna be one of those key pieces on a team somewhere. Now, these are the top interior D lineman prospects that the Cowboys should draft in this upcoming draft. Now, these first two prospects, man, they remind me of the good old Alabama days back in 2015, where they had a two-headed monster anchoring their middle. If you don't want to know who I'm talking about, just go back and watch Ashawn Robinson and Ron Payne. I think they both playing in Washington right now, Washington Commanders, and they're just anchors. They have their assets that can complement each other. They're just dominant. And I feel like these two prospects are going to go over for Texas because I'm a Texas fan. This is what we've seen from them all year long. And I'm talking about Byron Murphy and T'Vondre Sweat. Man. First prospect, though, we're going to go over the higher rated one in Byron Murphy, interior D lineman out of Texas. Very athletic of the bunch. Very athletic, explosive, first step. His most important skill, he's a gap buster. If he shoots a gap, he is going to disrupt the play. It's a pretty much automatic disrupt play. If you're going left, he's lined up in the 2-eye, and he's over the right guard. We're going zone left or outside zone. He's the type, his get off is so fast, he will be in the teeth of the guard before the play can fully develop, and he's already blowing up the running back in the backfield. Holmes, sneaky strength. He's not the strongest out of two, but I'm telling you, he has the strength to anchor around and be a nose tackle in the league. He has the craftiness, and he will be. He's an elite distraction. What that means? When you watch his film, he's not the one getting all the sacks. He's not the one, that's getting the highlight plays, but he's the one that's getting the pressures. And I'm telling you, pressures are just as much as important as sacks, because you will literally be a great teammate. Your teammates will love you, especially if we need a key sack. He's going to be that guy, man. He's going to be the one to get that initial pressure, to throw the QB off his spot, maybe into a DeMarcus Hankins lap, maybe into a Michael Parsons lap, maybe into, you get what I'm saying? That impact is felt, and that type of stuff can get a team going. Next prospect, T'Vondre Sweat, interior D lineman out of Texas. Whew, man, if we can't get one, if we only can get one, which probably so, this is a needle mover for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm saying it again. This pick right here, T'Vondre Sweat, is a needle mover for the Dallas Cowboys. Why are you saying this, Lou? Because he's an absolute tank. We have been missing the Cowboys in previous years. We are very, very light when it comes to interior D linemen. We can switch that whole narrative, and we can draft a guy like this. This man is 350 pounds plus, and he's athletic too for his size. He can still move. Elite space absorber. I'm gonna say it again. Elite space absorber. This is what you look for in a nose tackle. Somebody who can just eat double teams up. 4 of the Damone Clarks, 4 of the Demary Overshawn. Shout out to Overshawn. He was on the Texas defense last year. We need guys like this to eat up blocks for just to disrupt the opposing team's run game, team's run defense. I'm telling you, he's gonna be one of those guys that's gonna probably be one of the elite run anchors in this league. He got a little potential in his pass rush ability as well. What I like for him, I don't even want sacks from him. What I want him to improve upon, that he's already pretty good at, is getting that bear claw up and swatting, getting in the way of the passing lanes for opposing quarterbacks. As you know, that's very crucial down the stretch in good games, man. Like, a play may be open, but if he can get that big paw up and knock it down, man, we won't see it. You know, we won't see that play get hit. That's the type of stuff I'm looking for. And I feel like in our program, with our coaching, I think he can take that step and be, honed in on that pass rush ability on top of being an anchor on defense. Man, we can have something here with this pick, Dallas. I'm telling you, he's gonna be there probably second round, third round for sure. He had got a situation there. He's falling. This is the type of guys that I'm gonna be honest, that the Cowboys pick in the pass. We cannot pass up on this guy. I'm telling you, second or third round, if he's there, he should be one of our picks. Now for the sleeper pick, Jordan Jefferson, interior D lineman out of LSU. So I did a couple of research on him. Got a wrestling background, okay? So that means he knows how to maintain balance when being low to the ground, and that's all I can ask for. In the film, he's barely getting displaced. Okay, he's barely getting moved. He's also a double team attractor, but he's not getting displaced. He's not getting moved. The 3 to 4 yards. He's staying. He's only getting moved probably 1, or he's moving the opposing 2 linemen back a yard. I'm looking at that. Elite raw strength. There is a report. I don't know if it was pro day, regular workout. The report says he's squatting approximately 700 pounds. He's power cleaning approximately 400 pounds, and he's benching approximately 500 pounds. That is a very strong human being. And when he's one-on-one with defensive linemen, that's what really sticked out to me. Oh, he's knocking old linemen back. There's a reason why he got every clip that's being shown. Mostly 80-90% of the time he has 2 on him, because he's one of those guys that you have to keep 2 on him. Thank you again, Cowboys fans, for tuning in to this series, going over what based on the needs of the Cowboys and based on our picks on some guys we should really take with these picks, or if they slide to undrafted free agency, some sleeper picks. We know we're trying to make this team better at all costs, so we're gonna try to do all that is necessary to do that. In the future, we got mock draft scenarios coming up that I'm gonna be releasing and doing. with you guys, a couple of trade scenarios. Also, be sure to, during the draft, I'm going to be going live with my podcast, JM Sports Factory. Make sure you subscribe to that. But you can also just come to my page. We're gonna be live reacting to the entire draft of round 1 and rounds 2 and 3. For more content, please make sure you like and subscribe. Continue to show love, and thank you. Peace.